Gemini 3 Pro versus Grok 4.1. This isn't just another update. It's a total shift in how we generate media. Google just dropped the Nano Banana Pro engine, pushing 4K resolution and local editing controls that are honestly industry-leading. However, xAI's Grok 4.1 is hitting back with very high EQ score, focusing on what they call Parallel Agentic Swarms, to build images with a soul. One is a surgical tool, the other is a storyteller. Today, I'm putting both models through several impossible prompts, from cinematic realism to complex UI design, to crown a definitive winner. If you're tired of mid-tier AI, hit subscribe because we're finding the absolute best. First things first, head over to the Gemini interface. Make sure you've toggled on Pro and select the Create Image button. We're going to feed it a classic challenge. Fluffy Samoyed dog in a flower field at sunset. Hit Submit. Nano Banana Pro generates an image within seconds. Nano Banana Pro is the internal name for the state-of-the-art image generation model of Gemini Pro. Wow, that is a stunning, high-quality photorealistic image. It captures a perfect golden hour moment that feels both serene and incredibly cheerful. The model nailed the golden hour. You can see high-end rim lighting, that gorgeous glow around the silhouette, proving the engine understands backlighting. The Samoyed is perfectly centered. That signature Sammy smile isn't just a generic dog mouth. It's anatomically spot on, giving the image an emotional soul that feels authentic rather than synthetic. Look at the white fur against those warm, amber tones of the field. The contrast is sharp without losing the softness of the coat. The fur looks thick, touchable, and high fidelity. We're jumping into Grok 4.1 and heading straight for the Imagine feature to see what it can really do. I'm sticking with the same prompt Nano Banana Pro used. Fluffy Samoyed dog in a flower field at sunset. One thing you'll notice immediately, and this is a huge workflow win, is that unlike Nano Banana Pro, Grok 4.1 generates a full grid of images simultaneously. You aren't stuck waiting for one at a time. You get to pick the masterpiece from the bunch. Plus, the generation speed, it's significantly snappier. Check out this result. Honestly, it's stunning. The backlighting here is the absolute star of the show. By positioning the sun directly behind the dog, Grok created this ethereal glow effect. It perfectly highlights that massive, voluminous Samoyed double coat. I love the contrast play here. You have these deep, warm golden hues from the sunset clashing beautifully against the cool, crisp white of the fur. Look at the foreground. Those tiny pops of purple and white wildflowers add just enough flavor without stealing the spotlight. They nailed the shallow depth of field. The dog is tack sharp, while the meadow melts into a soft, professional blur. It looks like it was shot on a $5,000 prime lens. Ready to take things to the next level? Let's bring an epic dragon to life. I've gone ahead and dropped the full prompt list in the top pinned comment so you can follow along in real time. If you find this workflow helpful, consider joining the community by hitting subscribe. It's the best way to stay in the loop for our upcoming masterclasses. Let's dive in. I just got this render back from Nano Banana Pro, and honestly, my jaw is on the floor. We're diving into a masterclass in fantasy design, and if you've been sleeping on this tool, this is your wake-up call. Usually, when you stick to one color, an image can feel flat. Not here. Nano Banana Pro is flexing on us with this blue and white palette. We're seeing deep cerulean, sharp teal, and slate grays. It feels cold, like grab a heavy coat through the screen cold. Look at the iridescent dark scales against that blinding mountain snow. The dragon doesn't just sit there, it pops. This isn't just a random lizard. The attention to texture and weight is what separates the pros from the amateurs. Notice the gradient from those heavy tank-like scales on the back to the flexible ones on the neck. There's this pearlized finish on the wings and tail. It gives it this magical, almost aquatic shimmer that's incredibly hard to pull off. That mist coming from the mouth? It blends perfectly into the overcast sky. What makes this a high-quality illustration is the depth of field. By keeping the ice and scales in high-frequency detail and softening the background, Nano Banana Pro creates this massive sense of scale. It's powerful, it's isolated, and it feels like a frame pulled straight out of a $200 million blockbuster. Most people think this is just another cool dragon. They're wrong. This is a masterclass in atmospheric scale, and I'm going to show you exactly why it feels so massive. Look at the haze in the background. Grok 4.1 used a desaturated blue-gray here. This is called atmospheric perspective. It tricks your brain into thinking those mountains are miles away, which makes the dragon look like a skyscraper. But the real genius? The contrast ratio. See these crystalline blue scales? They're high saturation against a low saturation background. It pops so hard it almost looks 3D. And that amber eye? That's a complementary color pop. It's the only warm tone in the whole image, forcing your eyes to lock onto the dragon's face. Now, don't get me wrong. Grok 4.1 is mind-blowing, but sometimes the AI decides that physics is just a suggestion. Check this out. Look at the spine. If you follow the neck down to the tail, the middle section just disappears. It's not behind the mountain. It is the mountain. We're talking about a dragon that is literally growing out of solid granite. There's zero physical space for a torso here. Let's move to the next weird one. Look at how the head attaches. It arches over like it's about to roar, but instead of hitting a ribcage, it merges into this massive scale-covered wall of a body. It's giving giant snake tangled in a rock slide. It's like the AI forgot how biology works and just sprouted legs at random intervals like it was pinning the tail on a donkey. But hey, that's the beauty of the grid, right? For every Lovecraftian mountain horror Grok gives us, there's usually one absolute banger of a masterpiece right next to it. You just have to ignore the fuse to the earth glitches and pick the one that actually looks like it could fly. What do you guys think? Is Grok getting too creative with the landscape? Or is Mountain Core the new aesthetic? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button if you've ever had an AI fail this hard. All right, what's next on the build list? Check this out. People told me there's no way you can design a high-end futuristic mansion with just a couple lines of text. Honestly, I thought it sounded too good to be true too. But we're putting that to the test today. I've dropped the exact prompts I used to build this masterpiece in the comments below. Let's see if they actually work. Everything you're seeing on screen right now? Generated entirely by Nano Banana Pro. I'm honestly blown away by the fidelity here. Drop a comment. Did you think this was real? Let's dive into the evaluation of this modern tropical masterpiece. From a creator's perspective, this image is click gold. The lighting is hit perfectly at golden hour, creating that warm, aspirational glow that makes viewers stop scrolling and start dreaming. I love the mix of raw concrete and warm timber slats. It hits that industrial zen vibe that's trending right now. It's cold and modern, but feels like a home you could actually relax in. Those floor-to-ceiling glass walls are seamless. In the luxury real estate world, if you can't tell where the living room ends and the patio begins, you've won. The tiered planters on the right are a massive win. They soften the hard lines of the concrete and make the villa feel like it was grown out of the hillside rather than just dropped there. Plus, the infinity pool reflection is crisp, essential for that high-budget look. This image represents the new minimalist movement. It's not just about white boxes anymore, it's about texture, nature, and dramatic silhouettes. Now let's see how Grok 4.1 handles the exact same luxury villa prompt we just tested. I've gone through the full generation grid and handpicked the standout image for you. If you're looking for the benchmark of what 4.1 can actually do, this is it. From a creator's perspective, this image is clickbait gold. The lighting is doing 90% of the work here. That golden hour glow hitting the concrete? You've got that raw, board-marked concrete paired with warm, exotic woods. It's a hard meat soft aesthetic that looks incredibly expensive but feels grounded. Look at that upper deck overhanging the jungle. That's an engineering flex. It gives you that floating sensation, which is a massive trend in luxury real estate right now. Most pools are rectangles. This curved infinity edge mimics the natural topography of the cliff. It's seamless. The indoor-outdoor flow is elite. There are no visible frames on those massive glass sliders, making the living room and the terrace feel like one giant space. If I'm filming a day in the life here, the transitions between the kitchen and the pool are going to be butter smooth. We're entering the home stretch. I'll provide a brief side-by-side comparison of images generated by Nano Banana Pro and Grok 4.1. First up, we have the render from Nano Banana Pro. Just look at that atmosphere. You've got these warm interior lights punching through the cool blue exterior. It's a gorgeous contrast. But the real winner here is the texture. If you look at the wet pavement and the crispness of the glass reflections, it feels tangible. It is the best if you need that real-world cinematic shot that feels like you could actually walk into the frame. Now, let's flip over to Grok 4.1. Immediately, you notice the scale. Grok went for this God's eye perspective that highlights the building's silhouette. It's got that high contrast metropolis energy, very dramatic, very futuristic. Look at the cinched waist design and that complex outer lattice work. It's not just a building, it's a statement. It is the best if you're looking for architectural drama and a subject that looks like it belongs in a sci-fi blockbuster. All right, take a look at this. We just pulled this portrait from the Nano Banana Pro, and honestly, it's a masterclass in cinematic realism. See those lanterns? That creamy bokeh in the background isn't just there for show. It taps right into that sense of nostalgia, making the whole shot feel like a core memory you've tucked away. But the real magic is the color theory. We've got this gorgeous mix of warm oranges and soft pinks. It's that classic warm, cool contrast that keeps your eyes locked on the frame. It doesn't just look like a prompt, it feels like a moment captured in time. Now brace yourselves for this next one, because Grok 4.1 just absolutely leveled up. This right here, this is what I call a scroll stopper. I mean, look at the hair. The way those individual strands flow into that star glitter, the precision is just insane. We are officially entering pure digital art territory. Notice how the framing is much tighter with those cherry blossoms? It creates this intimate, high-end vibe. The skin is flawless, the makeup is razor sharp. It's clean, it's polished, and it honestly feels less like a render and more like a high-fashion editorial you'd see in a premium magazine. If you're looking for that perfect illustrative look, Grok is hitting different right now. I've spent the last week living inside these two models, and honestly, the results are wild. If you're trying to decide where to put your subscription money, here is the too long, didn't read breakdown. If you're talking vibes, Gemini Pro is your high-end studio director, and Grok 4.1 is your guerrilla filmmaker. Here's who should use which. You want to go with Gemini Pro if you are a serious creator, a marketer, or a designer. This generates high-res assets that look like they had a massive production budget behind them. This is the game changer. You can literally draw over a specific part of an image and tell Gemini, hey, change just this section. It's like having a built-in assistant who never sleeps. If your work needs to be polished and client-ready, this is the gold standard. Now, if you want speed, wit, and absolutely zero censorship, Grok 4.1 is your beast. It's built for the spicy creators, social media managers, and anyone who wants an AI with an actual personality. It's got an edge that the others just don't have. Grok 4.1 is eerily good at human expression. You want a photo of someone looking genuinely exhausted or just vibing at a rainy bus stop? Grok captures that raw human mood better than anything else on the market. All right, the potential here is actually insane. Between the raw power of the Nano Banana Pro and the sheer intelligence of Grok 4.1, the barrier between idea and reality just evaporated. But enough from me, I want to hear from you. What's the first project you're spinning up? Drop your wildest ideas in the comments. I'll be hanging out there for the next hour replying to my favorites. If you're ready to dive in, I've dropped all the official links for the Nano Banana Pro and Grok 4.1 right at the top of the description. Go grab them and show me what you've got. Thanks for rocking with me today. Keep creating, keep innovating, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.